Hi, how are you? Congratulations on the movie role. Good job, well done.
Yeah, I am. I'm alright, thank you. Yes, and it turned out to be an excellent success.
What did you think of your character?
Well, he's an interesting character. I mean, he's been through a lot of things that kind of highlight and explains the character's justifying his actions as to why he has become such a psychotic maniac, and which also explains why he's so different.
How so?
Well, he's an ex-militant who's been through a lot of things. He's also suffering from PTSD, and I mean, by just seeing imperfections on people, by killing them isn't really good enough reason for him to become a murderer.
Do you think that your character is portrayed as a psycho?
Yes, definitely. I think he looks like a normal civilian, but certain things make him look different and not right.
Do you think he looks old enough to be a psychotic killer?
The classification isn't 18, well, to attract greater audiences, and I think it really suits the younger demographic.
Do you think your movie conveys the typical conventions in camera work?
Yes, I do think so. So, I mean, we have kept most of the conventions of camera work.
What sort of techniques have you used?
The different techniques we used have been like tracking, shots, pans, and various other shots. Also, we have kept the distinctive convention similar. However, we did change our style by using a canted angle, and in the opening to show when our psycho is walking down towards the room.
So in watching the first few minutes of the opening, I noticed that it started off black and white, and the colours are very dim. Can you tell me why you chose to make this bold decision?
Well, yes, there are many reasons as to why I made this choice. One of the main ones being I wanted to go along with the conventions of the thriller genre. As you mentioned, there was a lot of dim lighting, which I like to refer to as low-key lighting.
Right, so what effect were you hoping for when placing this element in the opening of your thriller?
Well, as in many thrillers, low-key lighting creates suspense and a mysterious atmosphere.
So what were your intentions of using low-key lighting?
Well, the use of low-key lighting in our film created harsh shadows on the male protagonist's face. This was very important as the opening concentrates on just one person, so how he was perceived to the audience was very important. Also, the low-key lighting set a scene for a very sinister thriller, thus creating an unsettling atmosphere.
Well, as you can see, the low-key lighting really did set the area an unsettling atmosphere. Moving on, the setting you decided to choose was very unusual. Can you explain why this choice was made?
A lot of thought did go into the setting, as I wanted it to reflect the character and how the audience viewed him. The setting that I used wouldn't commonly be associated with typical thriller settings, but it still created a dramatic and fearful atmosphere. The setting that we actually used was an abandoned warehouse. We thought this would work perfectly with the character.
How do you think the setting portrayed the character and his personality?
The main aim of choosing such an abnormal setting was to create the character. The dark and unknown mysterious setting portrays the entrapment of the character's mind.
Now, moving on, sound in the opening of Imperfections plays a very big part in the opening. Tell me why it's such a sinister and eerie sound.
As in many thrillers, sound is commonly eerie, but not sinister. We decided to put some unusual and unknown sounds in there, as the audience wouldn't hear them in everyday life. For example, the loud machines played with static sound created an uncomfortable and uneasy atmosphere. The music kept the audience guessing what could potentially happen next.
So what was your main aim for using such an unusual sound?
If you watch the opening of the film, you can see that the sound starts off with a slow tempo and is relatively quiet, but there is suddenly a steady drone when the titles appear. This creates unease amongst the audience as they are unfamiliar with the sound.
Well, thank you very much for your time.